Nice, isn't? Shame the reason what. Yes. Regis, let the unseen elder know we've arrived. Have him summon Deadloff.
Hinthial, Jesu, Themias.
You didn't manage to find me, so you forced a meeting. Why?
You know why. I understand your anger, but you need to stop the attacks in the city, immediately.
My conditions are clear. I wish to see Relo. I wish to see Siana. Yet she is not. You know what? So Deadloff, who let up.
Shut up, Rotan! I am disappointed!
You murdered innocents. I don't owe you a debt.
Start praying now!
Night isn't. Yes. Rage.
You do. Why?
I understand your...
Mike, you so that let.
Should have brought her. I am disappointed.
Don't owe you a damn thing. Ugly bastard. Night isn't shame. Yes. Rage.
You didn't man. Why?
You know what?
I've taught.
I understand.
You so Dettler, you let up.
You murdered innocents. I don't owe you anything.
Start praying now! Prepare to die, Witcher!
Leave him to me. Be gone.
I can't let...
I insist.
My, what a smashing ensemble. You wear it well.
Shut up. I look like a twit.
The caftan is sewn of the best fabrics available, and according to the best tailoring practices. But one must have a modicum of taste to appreciate this. Even the most exquisite robes cover only deficiencies in beauty, never in refinement.
Rather not bicker about taste. Don't like to. It's neither interesting nor productive.
This particular Witcher has an inborn intolerance for formal occasions. Yet he's to attend just such an event shortly. I expect that's the source of his prickliness. So try not to take things personally, Master Taylor. Rather pity him. For in truth, stage fright overwhelms him. He trembles at the thought that he has no notion how to behave in the presence of Her Grace's Majesty.
As well he should. All that being as it may, Toussaint's highest honor, the Order of Vitis Vinifera, demands appropriate attire. The Duchess cannot be expected to drape the medal on a suit of armor caked in mud. Palace protocol places enormous emphasis on form, virtuous tradition, etiquette.
Huh. A tradition which values appearances ahead of all else. Which calls for lordly, glistening triviality and misplaced generosity.
Sound wistful. Pensive, Regis. That because they refuse to buy you a new outfit?
Hardly. It's the tone I ever adopt when I find myself pondering, which, believe it or not, happens quite a lot. Besides, I've no need for a new outfit as I shall not be attending the ceremony.
Why not?
Because unlike you, I don't have to. I shall begin to pack my belongings instead. I trust you'll join me later, once you're richer by a medal and a fascinating new experience?
Count on it. Ceremonies, medals honoring virtues, just keeps coming up.
I've had no reprieve either. And I keep thinking of the last great virtue, compassion. It's the one piece of the puzzle that never seemed to fit.
Mean you suddenly believe the 5 virtues theory, after all we've revealed?
It's not a question of belief, superstition, or old wives' tales. It's a conclusion derived through exercising pure logic. Syanna planned everything in advance. Had we not stopped her, surely there'd have been a 5th victim. One the gossips would have associated with a lack of compassion.
Her plans don't matter now. Can't act on them. Ask the messenger who delivered my invitation to the ceremony. Syanna's in the palace. Courtiers pressured the Duchess to lock her in a tower.
Do you care not a whit who else was in her black book? We've some time before the ceremony. We could still chat with that boot-cleaning urchin. He was the one to pass the victims' names to Dettlaff. Perhaps we missed something.
Regis, Bootblack didn't say anything about making deliveries when we talked to him. How do you know he handled the letters?
While you basked in glory and tried on new formal wear, I conducted a little investigation of my own. You'd be very proud to see how I conducted myself. I began by concocting an ample supply of boot wash for our enterprising young friend. I'd observed that among street folk, amidst their society as a whole, reciprocity takes precedence over all other codes, and thus no good deed goes unrewarded. Of course, the same holds true for malicious or destructive deeds.
The letters, what's the connection?
When the bootblack arrived to collect his bucketful, he hinted he knew more. Simply put, we'd failed to ask the proper questions when we chatted earlier. It took a bit more tongue-loosening, but ultimately he spoke. He admitted he'd handed Dettlaff the letters. He knew this information was valuable to me. In providing it, he was simply repaying me.
All in all, why not check up on that? We'll go together, assuming we're done here.
I am done, yes. It lies in your hands now to see if you are able to present my handiwork at the ceremony with the dignity it is due. Or if you will first destroy it, crawling about the city's underbelly.
Promise to be careful.
It's the swordsman. Good to see you. Here for a spiffing? Dirty boots are a stain on professional dignity, you know. Step on up.
Need to ask you something.
Yet again? Go on then. I'm a proponent of free speech and I will gladly tell you all I know. But why not get your boots shanked while we jabber?
Guess they could use a spit and polish.
Then I shall take advantage as well. A friend of mine used to say boots should be as clean as the soles that wear them.
Clean boots, clean soles. A fine slogan.
How's business?
Well enough. I can't complain. Though it'd be even better were certain folk to sit down for a shine as they stood and chatted.
Man in the frock coat. You passed him some letters, remember?
Why, of course. I'm young, got a mind like a steel trap, but...
If you're about to tell me this information will cost me, forget it. How'd you get those letters?
Beggars brought them.
Why didn't you tell us this before, when we first talked?
You didn't ask about beggars now, did you?
Beggars. Tell us more about them. How many were there?
Why, 4. 1 for each letter.
Just 4? Sure you didn't get a 5th?
I can't count, you know.
Remember anything else? These beggars have anything in common?
What? Come now. Each was different. Some had mismatched boots, others had no boots at all. Oh, I know! They all had no home!
Kid, my patience is starting to run a little thin. Now think hard. Where'd they get the letters? They picked them up? Get them from someone?
I don't know. They'd come, hand me a letter, and walk away. I asked no questions.
Geralt, allow me to ask a question. Listen, lad. I'll be glad to mix another batch of that boot shine for you. But you must focus now and tell us all you know. Where can we find the beggars?
Well, at the shelter, most like.
Where's that?
Everyone knows. It's just round the corner. Up those stairs, then right.
Thanks, kid. For your trouble. We must visit the shelter. Look around inside.
little camp elsewhere, got it? This is a decent district. We need no filth or bunning about.
Gent.
You? What do you want?
To talk.
Here, that's a waste of breath. We've tried it, only to tire our lips. We'll use other means of persuasion now.
Gentlemen, calm, please.
Either get out along with these flea-ridden vagabonds, or we'll toss you all out. Our patience is gone. This place is no longer a rank refuse dump.
Scram! Decent folk live here.
The shelter, them living here, bothers you. Question is why?
Look, Ballard. Another defender of the poor. Fighter for justice.
Damn nuisance. We've our women and young folk living next door, when even grown men fear to walk past such rabble.
Decent folk you mention. Mean yourselves?
Why? Do you doubt it?
Hell yes.
Hear that, Artois? He poking insults us. On our own turf.
We should step aside, good fellow. My friend is perfectly capable of settling this unfortunate dispute on his own.
I'll trade your guts around your spine.
My guts in fear.
All right. I can take a hint. Come, time to go.
I thank you so much for your aid. I tried to reason with them, but they'd have beat me blue had you not come along. I'm grateful. Immensely.
What did they want from you?
They are neighbors. Wish me to take my folk, the shelter, elsewhere. They dislike that I help the beggars. I do not oppose going elsewhere, were we to have somewhere to go. But you've come with a problem, have you? My turn to aid you.
Need some information. Looking for a man who might have mentioned the boot black in Rue de Garl.
The boot black? A feisty lad. I know him.
Any of your, wards supposed to meet him recently or soon?
Forgive me. Those I help and I are not so close that I would know. But should you wait, they'll all soon come for their meal. You can question them yourselves.
Sure all your usual beggars will be here?
They're not obliged to come, of course. But they rarely find a decent meal elsewhere. So, almost all in the area eat here.
Thanks. We'll wait. Nice of you to let us.
My dears, I've a matter to address before I serve the soup. These two gentlemen have some questions of you. Pay attention. Answer in brief. For if you draw it out, your soup will go cold, and we wouldn't want that, would we?
Recently, 4 of you delivered sealed letters to the boot black. I know this.
Does anyone know what the gentleman means? Go on, speak up. Romain?
Why should I squeal? We were all told not to mention the letters. We all swore.
You can tell me, Romain. You were given a letter and you delivered it, right? Good work, Romain. Thank you. Who else?
I got one too. Gave it to the boot black. And Freshy, he got one. But he can't tell you, as he's not here.
I still have mine. Had to deliver it 2 days after the Feast of St. Barnabas.
It's a matter of importance to the Duchy. Hand it over, or I'll take it from you, plain and simple.
But that I was to deliver it personally. Let no one else see it. That is what she said, and she was frightening.
You ought to heed folk who are kind and honest. This man helped me a short while ago, helped all of us. If this individual threatened you, you need not keep the promise you made.
All right, take it. I didn't want to see the boot black anyways. It's always muddy there.
Damn it.
What is it? Another name, truly?
See for yourself.
Well. I must say, even I did not expect this. This time you will see to our Duchessa. It seems we underestimated Siana rather grossly.
Judging by this, Detloff was literally supposed to tear her heart out.
Yet first you must snap her neck. Puzzling.
Puzzle complete now.
Alas, the matter ceased to be a tantalizing brain tease and has turned incredibly grave. We've proof of a plot to assassinate Toussaint's ruler. We've proof of a coup d'etat.
Duchess was to be Detloff's last victim. Siana planned it from the start.
Indeed. The logical conclusion, Geralt.
4 seemingly random victims to start. The virtue's their only link. Enough to get folk talking about a righteous, vengeful beast. Obscured the victims' links to Siana, even as she had those she despised killed off one by one, leaving the Duchess for last.
Had she managed to fulfill her plan, none would have questioned the reasons. Most would have thought Anna Henrietta had died for her sins. She was known to show a hard heart on many occasions. Ample proof of a lack of compassion.
Why would Siana murder her own sister? Out of envy? To take power? From an inborn penchant for evil?
Yes, and yes. All seem likely, and none are mutually exclusive. But if you'd like to know for certain, you can always ask her yourself.
Think it's a good idea? After all, we foiled her carefully planned scheme. Think she'll even want to?
Talk to you? Would it harm you in any way to try? Some philosophers think empirical examination the sole path to knowledge. I believe you mentioned the Duchess keeps Siana locked up.
Courtiers were insisting on a harsher punishment. Much harsher. Think Anna Henrietta had to protect her sister from a lynch mob as much as she wanted to protect her subjects from a criminal. One way or another, she's locked away in a secluded wing of the palace, awaiting trial before a court of law. I'd need to get past some guards to see her. Coming with?
Of course not. I shall await you at Mare la Chaise-Longue. I'll not risk entering the palace after Detloff and his minions rampage. Besides, I vastly prefer the company of a simple mug of mandrake brew to that of the Duchess's vile sister.
So, said straight up, it means you're going off to get drunk because you hate Siana.
I've never been fond of categorical statements of that kind, but I admit I could not vouch for my behavior in her presence. She treated Detloff cruelly, caused his death in the end, and now this? Atop all that? No, Geralt. I will not go with you. I will await you at the cemetery.
The scrapings around here. At least the weather's pleasant.
I thought I did think.
Oh, you away the beast. You.
Would you squeeze my cluster?
Step into...
Let's call it business.
Ah, then. A professional journey. Nothing but work, tension, unfamiliar beds. One needs a way to relax at times. Perhaps my girls could help you.
Want to let loose, enjoy myself.
Of course. Talk to the girls. I'm certain they will do all in their power. And it's quite a lot, believe you me. Welcome, welcome.
Gotta go.
Would you squeeze my cluster? Shh. You needn't apologize. You needn't worry about a thing. You've come to enjoy some pleasant moments. To rest. To relax. Let me help you do just that.
Sorry, gotta go.
Would you squeeze my cluster?
For the witches and jolly good fellow! And so...
Sausages, hams, pates!
Fine. Show me what you got. See you later.
Oh, yes, you surely will. I can tell an obsessed sausage snapper when I see one. You seek something? I've got it.
Duke the God, full of things that worry not to
Where was the witch who when vampires ran rampant?
Vampires. Then one bit my neighbor's knocking off.
Geralt, I knew from the start you'd best the beast. Halt!
Need to see Siana, urgently.
In the matter of?
Need to interrogate her. New facts have come to light. Need them explained. Seems she was planning your Duquesse's assassination.
Ah, fine then. You're that witcher who solved the murders, no? Then you've my permission, but only for a few minutes.
Promise to be brief.
The Witcher will speak with the inmate. You can take a momentary break.
As long as it's truly but a moment. Highly irregular, this.
Hey, Siana. Sorry to intrude, but I gotta ask you something.
I've nothing to say to you. You're the one who put me in here. Have you forgotten?
Sure, but you are here. So what's the harm in talking? Got something better to do?
What do you want? Be brief.
This cell. Downright cozy. Second time you've been incarcerated in altogether pleasant conditions. Always seem to land on your feet.
I wouldn't say that. I get no privacy here. But it is clean, because I cleaned it.
They do say cleaning can be relaxing.
It isn't. It's a horrible, thankless task. But I'm not one to leave anything undone. For instance, before I left Nazaire, I also tidied my room. Even made my bed. I knew I'd never return. But I despise leaving unfinished business. Messes. Loose ends.
Dogged determination. Guess that's admirable.
I was praised for it as a little girl. Only for that, in fact.
Went to a place where Beauclair's beggars congregate. Found proof that you'd planned your sister's demise. Anna Henrietta. She was Dettlaff's ultimate target from the start. Your target.
Bravo, Witcher. I congratulate you on your deductive reasoning skills. But what I'd planned has nothing to do with you.
Wrong. Has everything to do with me.
You were hired to kill the beast. Said beast is dead. So go collect your metal and leave me alone. Why must you meddle in everything?
Regis. He's always saying Dettlaff was more animal-like. Less human than him. Might have been so. Dettlaff acted on reflex. Was driven by primordial instincts. Whereas you're driven by cruelty, hatred, and a lust for vengeance. They hired me to kill the beast. True. Thing is, something tells me the real beast is you.
You've no notion who I am or what drives me.
Actually came hoping to learn something. It's clear you were out for vengeance. Against those who drove you from the palace? Curse of the Black Sun. That was their reason, right?
It's certainly what they claimed. They said I was dangerous. A mutant. Knights, Crespi, Dulac, Delacroix, and Peyrac Peyron. They got the task of whisking me away, abandoning me outside the duchy's borders.
They were following orders.
So they were, though they did so eagerly. Especially when I tried to flee. Crespi beat me unconscious with a whip. The others stood by and watched. Peyron found ample opportunity to take his frustrations out on me, while Dulac and Delacroix insulted me, mocked me. I swore then I would never forget. I would find them all.
Didn't have it easy, give you that much. Still no excuse for what you did.
I didn't expect you to understand. I need no sympathy. Not from you, not from anyone. I regret nothing. If I could turn back time, I'd not decide otherwise at any juncture. They all deserve to be punished. My sister most of all.
Enough. Your visit's done.
Ah, thank the stars.
Commander de la Tour would like to see you. Shall we go at once?
Let's go. Want to see him too. Damien.
Geralt, it's about time. Ready for the ceremony?
Your face doesn't look good. What the hell happened?
The city was attacked. Surely you don't imagine I could stand and watch it all from some ivory tower.
Got some important information. Anna Henrietta was supposed to be Detloff and Sienna's 5th victim.
You are certain of this?
Completely. Found proof.
Inconceivable. How could she? The murders, the mayhem she brought down on the city, were they not enough? She sought to strike down her own sister, her liege. Traitor. I must alert my men. Enlarge the Duchess's honor guard. Make certain Sylvia Anna is closely watched during the questioning. I'll see to it personally. I thank you, Witcher, for alerting me, and I appreciate your attentiveness. Let's begin the ceremony. Come with me. The Duchess awaits. In the Guild's name, I beg your assistance, your enlightened highness. Without barrels, production will come to a stop, and it will be the end of us.
You lost them all in the fire. These are horrible tidings. Oh, we are most dreadfully saddened.
Yes, your enlightened highness all. Once the beasts had clawed their way into the warehouse, the whole place went up in flames.
I shall dispatch a palace guardsman to examine the site of the blaze. If things are, as you say, fitting compensation shall be paid from the ducal treasury.
Thank you, your enlightened highness. Your Grace, Geralt of Rivia has arrived.
My dear subjects, we come now to our next point of business. Of all the duties which fall upon my shoulders, as the ruler of this dominion, this duty is dearest to my heart. For now, we shall award the Order of Vitis Vinifera, Toussaint's highest honor.
Geralt of Rivia, slayer of the beast of Beauclair, step forth.
We bestow the distinction upon the Witcher, who saved Beauclair from the terrible beast. Such is our desire. May this symbol serve as a reminder to all that the Witcher shall forever remain a friend of Beauclair. In more familiar terms now, I thank you immensely, Geralt. Damien has your reward for you. After all, it was but a contract.
Thank you.
I have a small surprise for you, in addition. I give you more than 12 barrels of Son Real, a wine normally reserved for the ducal table. The gustatory experience of a lifetime awaits. Are you content?
Feels like a second distinction. I'm honored. Thank you.
I trust you shall make good use of it. In a moment I shall speak to Siana. Will you assist me? You returned my sister to me, yet you also showed me her horrendous deeds. As head of state, I must judge her fairly. But she is my sister. Thus my heart bleeds for her.
If my presence will help in any manner, of course I'll stay.
We shall now question a person implicated in the murders which recently ravaged our fair city of Beauclair. Captain de la Tour, show Sylvia Anna in.
The Witcher will take part in our talk.
The Duchess requested I be present.
You have committed crimes. Grave crimes. Yet you are my sister, and my heart does not allow me to treat you as a common criminal. Thus I have asked Geralt to advise me, as one impartial. I shall now hear what he has to say.
No matter the mitigating circumstances, whatever they may be, Siana is a criminal and should be tried as such. And punished as such. Her guilt is clear.
Your words sadden me greatly, Witcher. But I cannot deny their logic. Siana, you shall be tried and given a fitting punishment. Yet we shall never cease to be family. As Duchess, I shall have to judge you. But as your sister, I shall never stop loving you. Will you forgive me?
I shall never forgive you.
need some flowers. A wreath, or...
I've none. Sold everything. I was just on my way out. No sense hanging about with nothing to do. Should come as no shock, sir. Had the funeral. Folk took it all. Men, women, children. All wished to lay a bouquet on the Duchess's grave. Windflowers, peonies, gladioli. But she liked common roses best. I know. Her ladies-in-waiting would come here at times. I'd choose the loveliest blooms for her. Fragrant, big petals, the kind that last a long time. I've still not come to terms with it. To be killed by her own sister. How could it happen?
How?
I know you. You're...
Mm-hmm. Could say that.
Wait here. Take these.
Thought you were out of flowers.
I put a bouquet aside. I was to take it to her myself. But you have it. I know you held the Duchess dear.
How much do I owe you?
Not a copper. Keep your coin and raise a toast in her memory tonight.
Do just that. Farewell.
Halt!
Need to see Siana, urgently.
In the matter of?
Need to interrogate her. New facts have come to light. Need them explained. Seems she was planning your Duquesse's assassination.
Ah, fine then. You're that witcher who solved the murders, no? Then you've my permission, but only for a few minutes.
Promise to be brief.
The Witcher will speak with the inmate. You can take a momentary break.
As long as it's...
Hey, Siana. Sorry to intrude, but I gotta ask you something.
I've nothing to say to you. You're the one who put me in here. Have you forgotten?
Sure, but you are here. So what's the harm in talking? Got something better to do?
What do you want? Be brief.
Went to a place where Beauclair's beggars congregate. Found proof that you'd planned your sister's demise. Anna Henrietta. She was Dettloff's ultimate target from the start. Your target.
Bravo, Witcher. I congratulate you on your deductive reasoning skills. But what I'd planned has nothing to do with you.
Wrong. Has everything to do with me.
You were hired to kill the beast. Said beast is dead. So go collect your metal and leave me alone. Why must you meddle in everything?
Just like to know what's going on around me. Can't stand confusion, unexplained situations.
Have you come to ask me what drives me? What my motives are?
Actually came hoping to learn something. It's clear you were out for vengeance. Against those who drove you from the palace? Curse of the Black Sun. That was their reason, right?
It's certainly not.
They were...
So they... Peyrin found...
Explains a bit. A lot. You had a right to feel rage, resentment. But those motives aren't enough to justify the means you chose.
I didn't expect you to understand. I need no sympathy. Not from you, not from anyone. I regret nothing. If I could turn back time, I'd not decide otherwise at any juncture. They all deserve to be punished. My sister most of all.
Enough. You're fit. Commander de la Tour would like to see you. Shall we go at once?
Let's go. Want to see him too. Damien.
Geralt, it's about time. Ready for the ceremony?
Got some important information. Anna Henrietta was supposed to be Dettloff and Siana's fifth victim.
You are certain of this?
Completely. Found proof.
Inconceivable. How could she? The murders, the mayhem she brought down on the city, were they not enough? She sought to strike down her own sister, her liege. Traitor. I must alert my men. Enlarge the Duchess's... I thank you, Witcher. Let's begin the In the guild's name, I beg...
You lost them all.
Yes, you... Thank you, Your Grace.
For now, in more familiar.
Thank you.
I have a small surprise. The gun.
I am, and truly grateful, Your Grace. Sadly, I'm afraid I have to sour the mood. It's Siana. She plotted to have you killed, Duchess. Planned to use Detloff. You were to be the beast's 5th victim.
This cannot be true. You're mistaken. You must be.
I have proof.
I do not believe it. In a moment I shall speak to Siana. Will you assist me? You returned my sister to me, yet what you tell me now I find devastating. I've come to doubt that I can judge her fairly. I'd far prefer to learn you're mistaken, Geralt.
I'm not. In fact, I'd recommend you be particularly careful around her.
You exaggerate, Witcher. She is my sister. I know well how to speak to her.
If my presence will help in any manner, of course I'll stay.
We shall now question a person implicated in the murders which recently ravaged our fair city of Beauclair. Captain de la Tour, show Sylvia Anna in.
The Witcher will take part in our talk.
The Duchess requested I be present.
You have committed crimes. Grave crimes. Yet you are my sister, and my heart does not allow me to treat you as a common criminal. Nor does it let me believe you sought my demise. My heart yearns to know you were swayed by the monster Detlaff. You yourself would never stoop so low. Thus I have asked Geralt to advise me, as one impartial. I shall now hear what he has to say.
Your Grace, as head of state, you should look first and foremost after your dominion. Siana's actions, what drove them, be damned. She's a threat to your subjects.
You are correct. They are what matters. I must not forget this. Siana, you shall be tried and given a fitting punishment. Yet we shall never cease to be family. As Duchess, I shall have to judge you. But as your sister, I shall never stop loving you. Will you forgive me?
Need some flowers.
Should... But she...
No one suspected Sianna'd be merciless. Not Damien, not me. Least of all the Duchess.
Oh, I know you. You're that witcher from the...
Mm-hmm.
Wait here.
Thought you were out of...
I put a book.
How much do I owe you?
No.
Eat, drink, and loosen your pockets, for you are in too soon.
Yes, a face no ointment could help.
Ow!
Better to die of a grief than
Bury
of
the
boredom.
murderous lass in one crypt with the Duchess. It's not decent.
Matter or no, she was the Duchess.
Witcher, I was certain you'd departed.
Couldn't. Anna Henrietta was...
Wondrous. Beautiful. Good. The best ruler one could hope to have. Yet I let her down.
Don't be so hard on yourself. No one expected Sianna to do that, persist to the end. And none of us did anything to stop her. 'Cause there was nothing we could do.
I suppose you are right. But when someone so beloved dies, one cannot help but search one's soul for blame. And even the hardiest knights grow faint-hearted then.
Come to pay my respects. Bid the Duchess farewell.
White roses. They were her favorite. Go inside, then. She lies in the ducal crypt. In one room with her murderer. Despite my protests.
What? Who decided that?
The Regent's Council. A pack of old men who've statutes and codices for hearts. Ducal blood flowed in Sianna's veins, and she was never legally disinherited. So they ruled she should lie alongside Henrietta.
And all this, what did it bring you? Rest in peace. I regret it ended this way, that I failed to prevent it. Hope you can forgive me. Rest in peace.
Stylish crypt, quite subdued. Yes, this is the kind of eternal resting place I dream of.
Moments like this, I never know if you're joking or serious.
Serious, Geralt, serious. It's remarkably peaceful, subtly charming to the hilt. A perfect match for the Duchess's dignity. Ah, you humans, you'll never cease to amaze me. To feel despair in the face of natural processes to which you are predestined. I've come to take you from this place, my friend. Dare say you deserve a speck of respite after the mad whirl of the last few days.
All those deaths I failed to prevent. Feel pretty awful right about now. Can't help thinking I could have done more. Now Toussaint's left without a ruler, or more accurately, chaos rules here. Hand in hand with despair. Duchess won over people's hearts. All Beauclair now weeps for her.
A mass outburst of emotion. Well, it seems her subjects have adopted some of their recent ruler's traits.
Why the sarcasm? Thought you liked Donna Henrietta.
I did. And I do truly rue her passing.
Me too.
Then let us drink.
Always seemed to me you were a very complicated creature by nature. Not one to resort to such simple methods like drinking your worries away.
There exist worries for which they're quite simply, it's no other medicine.
Whatever you say about Siona, you gotta admit, she was unbending.
That she was. I do admit it. Though, in her case, it would have been better if she had been a tad more, philosophical, pausing from time to time to reflect on the propriety of her actions.
True.
How do you find my personal brew? Not too strong?
Just right.
Credit the local mandrake of the Alrauna diavolis variety for that. The tubers which grow in this area's volcanic soil have an altogether unique flavour profile and display a remarkably uncommon dark brown tint.
Fascinating. All I can say is this batch turned out excellent.
Indeed. It might be wise to stockpile some roots for the future. Would you care to accompany me?
You decide to go root picking now? It's dark out.
Geralt. Even were I generously to assume it had simply slipped your mind that I am a vampire and thus need no light to see, I'd never believe you had also forgotten that you likewise have absolutely no trouble seeing in the dark. So, shall we?
If you think it's a good idea, let's go. But I think you might be forgetting one thing. Fresh mandrake root of this variety is highly toxic, even to a witcher.
Ah, not a problem. I never forget matters of safety and hygiene in alchemy. Here, gloves and a mask. Don them, and you shall be in no danger.
Thanks. Right then, let's go.
This moonlight makes me, oh, so dreamy.
Penny for your thoughts. Let me get... Succubus twins?
No, I was thinking about, how anything can look interesting when properly lit.
Even an old necrophage corpse?
You've not an ounce of refinement in you.
Where'd that bloodsucker go? Won't be easy to track down. He's a vampire after all. Regis! Damn it, where'd you go?
Hand against a vampire!
What I had to do!
Those Bruxay, they called you a traitor.
Alas, we've a very simple code of honor, we vampires. So simple you might call it trivial. Either one is with us, unconditionally, regardless of the circumstances, or...
Won't let it go, will they?
They will not. Fortunately, we've another rule, an unwritten one, and just as trivial as the first. It is neatly summarized in the saying, out of sight, out of mind. That is why I must leave Toussaint. For a vastly long time, most like.
Yeah, I get it.
Let us make for my camp. I've an overwhelming desire to have another drink. Supreme bouquet. Firm, defined beginning, then develops gently, rising to a startling finish. Don't you think?
Not much of a connoisseur.
Then it is high time you started your education. After all, the Corvo Bianco vineyard is now yours. By the way, I left a gift for you in your new home. On the nightstand.
Thanks. Mind telling me what it is?
A trifle. That will nonetheless be useful should you need mutagens. Incidentally, have you thought about what you'll do with your prize? Shall you hang your swords over the mantle and take to pruning vines?
No, just not the life for me. Sure, might stop by there occasionally, stay the winter, fill up on wine. But I'd rather keep moving. It's not a choice being a witcher. And once you are one, you're one for life. You can't just step off the path. Besides, plenty of work left for me in the world. Ghouls aren't gonna kill themselves.
Rather droll, isn't it, that each time we meet, something harrowing must happen? I can remember a night, not too far from here if I'm not mistaken. We hid in a cave while a blizzard raged all about. Does that sound at all familiar?
How could it not? We just set off to rescue Ciri from Vilgefortz.
Oh, our encounter with Vilgefortz. That is something I do not remember so fondly. But that first stay in Beauclair, far calmer than this one.
Seemed like a land straight out of a fairy tale back then. Its sole problem, cellars too small to accommodate all that wine.
Appearances, Geralt. Appearances, like Mamoons and Dopplers, deceive. So what did become of Vilgefortz?
Killed him. Sure wasn't easy, though. What about you? Any idea where you'll go?
Distance is of the essence. I thought I might venture south.
Nilfgaard?
Why ever not? The Nilfgaardians are a modern society. None there believe in vampires anymore. This fact alone could be very useful to one wishing to remain incognito.
Interesting point of view. I so don't feel like going anywhere. Sit here a while longer?
So we shall, my friend. We have witnessed, and in fact on several occasions incited, many great and weighty events. After all that toil, I believe we deserve a bit of a rest.
That we do. Actually, I'd love to go home.
Master Witcher, some unknown individual barged into the residence. I resisted as best I could, but to no avail.
Who is it?
Alas, they did not do me the basic courtesy of introducing themselves.
Triss?
In the flesh?
I thought you were in Kovir.
I got tired of waiting for you, so I decided to head to Toussaint. Catch some sun, see how things are going. You said it would only take a moment.
Things are pretty much wrapped up, luckily. We'll be able to head north soon.
I hope you're not upset I came like this, without warning.
True, I haven't always been fond of surprises. They remind me of work, the law of surprise, surprise child. But I think I've changed my mind. Seems surprises can actually be pleasant. Very pleasant. Let's go outside. There's this one cozy spot you're gonna love. How are things in Kovir?
Amazingly boring and predictable. Council meetings mainly concern trade matters, tariffs, storage regulations, that sort of thing.
Missing the excitement?
You know the Atheri saying, may you live in interesting times? Well, I've already done that, and now I'm looking for a bit of quiet. The other mages I brought with me from Novigrad or who made it north on their own feel the same. You wouldn't recognize them. No conspiracies, cabals, plotting. They just sit there and work for the good of the kingdom. Sometimes I think it's all too lovely to be true. That something's bound to happen. Another war or some other horror. But for now, it's nice. And once you finish your business here and come join me, it'll be even better.
So, how do you like my vineyard?
I think you know the answer to that. I like it a lot. House is big, but not showy. Lovely location. Perfect for romantic getaways.
Just finished some remodeling. Paid through the nose for it, but I think it was worth it. There are already some new saplings and flowers around the grounds, but I think it's still missing something. Maybe a hedge maze? With a statue in the center? One that's stately and nude.
Oh, Geralt, don't bring up that ball. The wine got to my head and I...
Not bringing it up to tease, but to reminisce. That evening, it was magic. And your dress. You looked lovely in it.
I've got it with me. I could put it on one evening. We'll dine outside by candlelight, listen to the music of the cicadas.
Can't wait. How'd you find me? Kavir's a long way off.
I have my ways, Geralt. A hydromancy, for example.
Oh yeah, that's right. So, what becomes of us? See anything else in the reflection?
Zoltan moves in.
Please tell me you're joking.
You can breathe easy. Far as I know, he settled down in Novigrad and has no intention of budging. In all seriousness, though, I did see a few scraps of our future, but I'd rather not tell you exactly what.
Why not?
Because you said you've grown to like pleasant surprises.
This is your first time in Toussaint, right? Want me to show you around a bit?
Sorry, but I've already made plans.
Oh? What are you going to do?
Lie down in the sun and not move an inch.
Ah, right. A packed schedule. Not overdoing it a tad.
Oh, gotta get the most of this weather before I return north. Know that joke about how to tell when summer has come to Kavir?
The rain isn't quite so cold.
And sadly, that's not far from the truth. Oh, I shouldn't have told you that. Now you'll change your mind and not come join me.
I wouldn't worry about that. Mind if I leave you here alone for a moment?
Just a moment.
Don't shout. The beast! You'll smell the soiled armor at once.
I'll work up to my chin and I'll coat some rot.
Blood of the fresh variety. Monster attack was recent. Scale. Colors unusual. Silver? Never seen one like this. Man, bled to death. Big beast inflicted these wounds. Clear from the claw marks. Must have a toothy smile, too, judging by what ripped his throat open. Draconid. Gotta be. Maybe a basilisk? Except these prints don't belong to any variety I know. Just a little different. Area's dangerous. I'd say there's a basilisk nesting around here. You'd be wise to remain at some distance.
Yes, I'm familiar with the matter, and quite proud to say a basilisk does nest here. I look after it personally.
Look after it? It's not exactly a pet. Beast's murdering folk who come through here.
Just a minute. It does not murder those who do not trespass upon its territory.
You post those warnings?
Indeed, to prevent anyone from coming to any harm.
Well, a lot of good they did. Got a freshly mangled corpse right here.
Most likely a merchant, the poor bloke. Just today, I learned 2 traders had chosen this route despite the signs. I came as quick as I could to warn them. Too late, alas. I've instructed my servants. They shall take the body, return it to the family with a generous sum as recompense.
Who exactly are you? And how'd you develop such an interest in the beast?
Count Borges. Happy to be of service. As to the beast, well, this subspecies is our dynastic symbol. The Disalfareses have for centuries signed with the Regulus Platinum. As family legend has it, a female of the species rescued an ancestor, a boy at the time, from a burning building. She took the tyke back to her nest, where she fed him as if he were one of her own youngsters.
Malarkey.
To be sure, but beautiful malarkey it is.
Where's the basilisk nesting? Any idea?
Of course I've an idea. But you don't really expect me to tell you. Those are not toy swords. I know your intentions.
Find it myself, then. Easy to track with its distinct paw prints. Mentioned 2 merchants. So I might also look for the other corpse. Basilisk scales are usually thicker, not nearly so fine. Could be more sensitive to fire, this one.
Alas, it is true. Your caste has a terrible fear of fire. She's a highly sensitive creature. Rid your mind of any thought to kill her. You would destroy the last of a species.
Strange. These burn marks. Beast's venom make them? Subspecies must be highly toxic.
It is so indeed.
A wound from a sterling basilisk festers long.
Need to brew a potion that'll neutralize that. Busted barrels. Contents spilled all over. Must have been tannin in there. Used to treat leather. Beast smashed the barrels. That's how the scent got on the scale.
Yokoko is so very curious. Strong scents especially intrigue her. The barrels, they must have drawn her in. Drawn her to the caravan.
Busted barrels slimed with venom. Hallmarks of an attack. Basilisk must have caught the second victim here. Anyway, got 2 scents. Venom and tannin. Ought to be enough to track the beast.
Why track her at all? Your caste is protected. Her death would forever destabilize the ecosystem. Who knows what would happen? I see unforeseeable consequences down the line. Simply refrain from provoking her. Harm her not, and she too will leave you untouched. I've long suspected they do it on purpose. Scent their goods. They seek to lure the basilisk to destroy their wares. It allows them to demand compensation from their assurers.
Odors dispersed. Seems to be everywhere. Basilisk must be high in the sky. Sense perceptible again. Just as I expected. Second victim, but relatively unscathed. Basilisk must have been dragging him back to its nest for later. Dropped him for some reason. Wonder why. Hear something, but it's no basilisk screech. Human voices?
bat to roost at its nest with warriors on the prowl after it?
It senses we're true reavers. Damn right.
Yamo, Harry, prepare the equipment. Beast wandered off somewheres. We got to lure it back. And who might you be?
Funny. About to ask you the same.
They call us the Reavers.
Reavers? Wouldn't happen to hail from Crinfrid, would you?
Aye, we do. But how's it you know? And again, who the hell are you?
Geralt of Rivia. I'm a witcher. Know your brethren in arms. Boholt, Kennet and Desbret, New Boy too.
Ah, you're that witcher. Aye, Boholt mentioned you. Said you swing a mean sword.
A professional. Good you came along. Could take on the brute together. Talk is, the venom's something horrifying. Could use another pair of hands. Fee what we've gotten from the guild, we'll share it fair and square. You in?
Gentlemen, this hurts my ears and pains my heart. You aim to kill your caste? It cannot be. The creature is protected. If you fear to lose the guild's reward, I shall repay it, and reward you doubly to leave the beast be. You cannot slay the last living specimen of a near-extinct subspecies.
Willing to pay, are you? Long as we do nothing? That's rather novel. What say you to that, master? Far as I know, beasts culled the human race by 5 already.
Beast has to die. We work together, we'll make quick work of it.
After all I told you of your caste, you would murder her? Or you will regret this, friend. I know folk. I shall tell them you slew the last surviving specimen.
Sorry, Master de Salvarez. Actually, not sorry. A monster's a monster. Silvery, plaid, or polka-dotted, last or next to last specimen, doesn't matter. It's a dangerous predator that kills humans. Enough said.
Herbalists, alchemists, I know many. They will despise you. I shall tell them of a heartless cur who cares not an ounce for balance in nature. You shall pay arms and legs for their wares. More!
Somebody plug this Lorden's gob, eh? Right, Master Witcher. How do we aim to fight the filth? We've crossbows. Comply with bolts while you do the hack and slash? Or all go at it as a bunch, blades in hand, fire in our hearts? You decide. You're the one with experience.
Use your crossbows, keep her on the ground. Good idea.
Did you say her?
It's a female, yeah.
Hear that, lads? We've a learned witcher here. 100 spans out, and he spotted what the lizard's got between its legs. Right now, lads. You've heard the specialist. Ready your crossbows.
All good and fine, but the monster's not in its nest. Gotta track it down first.
Not at all necessary, Geralt. We looked into it. Gave it a think. Traders use tannin to lure the beast. Who says we can't do the same?
You got any tannin?
Came into a bit, aye. Here, willing to do the honours?
There.
Grab your bellies! Shoot the bitch down! A stroker like that, to fight at a true witcher's side. Prime the way you swung that razor, mate.
Mentioned some fee from a guild. I hear you right?
Ha! Witcher drives right for the gut. A professional, right thorough. Your share, friend. Every last copper as we agreed. We'll collect us a few of them silver scales and a tail. Proof for the guild, right?
And we'll get word of you to some folk. Merchant folk, meaning. They ought to treat you right.
Thanks, and farewell.
Yocast, my poor Yocast, cruelly slaughtered like a common beast.
Look at Malordin, sobbing over the vermin filth.
Let him be, you more. Blubbered a fair bit yourself when wolves nabbed your helmets.
What do you mean? You saying we's like them wolves?
No, muttonhead. Beasts were to the noble what helmet were to you.
Basilisk as a pet? A hunting dog? The notion were wrong to start with.
Basilisk beat.
Go, go. That's it, Roach.
Mama says that if someone's really, but I mean really bad, it means his heart is made of stone.
My brother gave me a sword. I named it Needle.
Lamet, my friend, it's common knowledge Bombino Nero yields the best sweet bread.
Bombino? You yourself are Bombino.
Will you go rat hunting with me?
Our Camina...
Come on, Roach.
And anyone can tell you.
I do not listen to anyone.
Now I shall see. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Hey, over here!
Whoa! Heard you calling. Wanted to talk?
I did, for we're neck-deep in trouble. Of the spider kind.
Need a maid with a broom, not a witcher.
You fail to understand. These are huge. The size of pigs or dogs. Black and hairy, spewing webs.
Not talking about spiders then. Talking about arachnomorphs.
Call them what you will. You must smash the rogues, will you? Those caves would be prime barrel storage were it not for the beasts.
First things first. Need to talk about my reward.
I knew we would agree terms.
Arachnomorphs don't look much like bunnies, but they sure breed like them. Best nip the problem in the bud. I'll look into it.
You make mountains out of molehills, Vilmar. Lads, I find your concern touching, I do. Yet I've long awaited this day. So, you must forgive me, but I shall go through with it as planned. Ah!
it seems my guide has arrived.
Greetings.
Greetings to you, White Wolf. I presume you saw my notice? Foolish question. You're here, thus you must have seen it. Forgive me, I should introduce myself. Count Belladal, a great admirer of your deeds.
Thanks. Not something we Witchers hear often.
But Count, sir, do you mean to go off with just this Witcher? A right hardy fellow he is, no ponce, I'm sure. But your expedition's too risky on the whole. And not taking us with you's, pardon my saying it, right daft.
You exaggerate, Vilmar. I believe I can manage to survive half a day without someone there to wipe me arse in my stead. My guards lament, Witcher, but you must forgive them. Now, to get down to brass tacks, as you've no doubt gleaned from the notice, I've a rather extraordinary proposition for you. I'm a lover, Witcher, of nature. A devotee of the wild. And Toussaint is home to several species not encountered elsewhere. I'd like you to accompany me on an expedition whose aim is to preserve them. Yes. Naturally, you'll protect me should the need arise. My ever-vigilant guards, see, will report any reckless behaviour to my wife if I get so much as a scratch. And then woe will be me.
Need some details before I can say anything. Where are we going? What am I supposed to do exactly?
In the roundest terms, we shall admire the local flora and fauna. And while we do, I might preserve a thing or two.
Preserve?
Of this device, see, a parastisomac. It captures, likenesses.
A parasesta what?
It's like a movable megascope, capturing moments, transforming them into illusions, based upon which I then paint a painting.
So, you want me with you, looking at animals and flowers and...
Well, that's more or less what it amounts to, yes. Except you will first have to track down the creatures I wish to capture. I know only the very approximate locations of their habitats. Well, and should any trouble arise, we'll have your sword at the ready, right? So, agreed?
Pretty unusual contract.
I couldn't agree more, yes. And I'm prepared to pay a commensurately high fee.
Don't mind if we actually talk about exactly how high that'll be first, do you?
Why ever would I? Please, simply tell me how much you wish to receive. Sublime! We've a deal!
Doesn't seem hard. Be glad to do something pleasant for a change.
Sublime. In that case, here's your map. Before coming here, I dispatched requests to several local hunters. They located the habitats of the species of interest to me and marked out their ranges on the map.
Good thinking. It'll save us some time. Won't need to track. Ready to go?
Yes, let's. The light seems perfect just now. Returned. Splendid. We shall await dawn's superior light and venture out then.
Seems I got the map, so I'll lead. Wouldn't rather be out here with those guards of yours?
You jest. It's deliverance to emerge from under their wings, believe me. They're overprotective, oppressively so. I wish to admire the wildlife, preserve it, not watch them kill it in a fit of misguided fear for my life.
What if the wildlife attacks us?
Then we shall have no other recourse. I do not wish to be something supper for you, but as long as they remain calm, we've no need to provoke them. It's of the utmost importance to me, in fact.
Map says there should be panthers around here. Shh. Heard something. Grunting, panting. Something like a bear.
Ooh. I'm not the least bit eager to come face to mug with a bear. We should move on. Get out! Save me!
Hear that? Panthers.
Frankly, I did not hear a thing. Clearly, your senses are far more acute than mine. I must rely on them.
Damn poachers. Snares. Looks like they were hoping for a bear. Panther got caught instead.
Look, a cub. Will you help the mother?
Give it a shot. Gotta calm her first. Likely to lunge at us otherwise.
Brilliant. You freeing her. Brilliant. You freeing her. A superb image. Folk call witches heartless. This will put the light in her.
Prepare Stysomex upset the animals. Better get out of here.
Cannot abide poaching. I'm content you share my love for animals.
Got pretty broad interests for a man of the city.
I suppose I dabble in my share of things. Wine, nature, painting. I imagine the life of a witcher must be rather more monotonous. With all due respect.
It is. Never boring, though. Shh. Hear him?
It's those...
Centipedes. Giant. Underground tunnel burrowers. Make a distinct sound. We can use that to track them. Sounds loud and clear here. Must be near the nest. We're here.
Well, this vantage point's no good. I shan't capture a good image from here.
All right, wait. I'll find you a better spot that's safe, too. Tread lightly. Giant centipedes sense the softest sounds.
Wait!
Lightest
We've got to
vibration.
find a safe place for me first.
One up.
Blast it. I see
brings
you're
us
simply
in.
unreliable.
Damn, you're ugly.
Excellent. Find a place where I would have a good meal. Instead, you ran into their lair.
Sorry, got carried away.
Exhilarating. Positively exhilarating. Thank you. I've one more request. Local peacocks performing their mating ritual. I'd love to see that. Apparently, a flock dwells not far from here.
We can go, just don't count on peeping at them while they mate. Season ended a month back.
Oh, that's terrible. I so wish to capture their splendorous tails in full bloom. Is there nothing you can do if they prove uneager to present? Perhaps challenge them somehow? Goad them?
What did you have in mind? Don't have a tail myself, and I'm not likely to sprout one anytime soon.
My thoughts were more along the lines of witcher magic. They say you can exert influence over lesser creatures.
Yeah, guess I can try. Can't promise you anything, though.
Splendid. Consider me contented. I cannot pinpoint the flock's location, but a hunter I know told me a few likely spots. I'll mark them for you.
All right. Let's go find some peacocks.